COVID-19, Megathread, week of April 23–April 29. A man once said, if you want a good story, just ask any random person if there was ever an event in their life they cannot explain. Someone almost always has one weird thing that has happened to them. So Reddit, regardless of whatever you believe about the world, what's your story?
I regularly have dreams of my cat calling my name. Every time I wake up from one of these dreams, she is looking at me. Before anything creepy or profound could happen, the little shits start yelling for wet food.
What actor is the most guilty of playing the same exact character in every film?
Steven Seagal, playing Steven Seagal in movie called Steven Seagal.
Michelle Rodriguez. Always play the tough military chick.
Katherine Heigl. An uptight, controlling, workaholic, but learns to be a little more easygoing by the end. My dad complains that Mark Ruffalo always plays a guy going through it, whatever that means.
Kevin Hart making and receiving jokes about his own diminutive stature is a given. I think the fact that I can't remember a single one of his characters' names speaks for itself. Kevin James. David Attenborough. I've seen them all. Like, come on man, mix it up a little. Play a waiter or a spy or a gay prostitute.
What is the best example of just because you can, doesn't mean you should?
Blindly trusting traffic laws as a pedestrian. Yes, if you get hit it's the driver's fault. But all it takes is for one driver not paying attention to potentially end your life. Posting on social media that you're going on vacation. A high school friend of mine did that a couple of years ago. Multiple posts on Facebook announcing she and her husband were going to Bermuda for 2 weeks. They came home to a burgled house.
Bank loans and credit cards. Just because you're approved doesn't mean you can afford it.
Me, contemplating buying an axe this weekend so I can do some axe throwing in my backyard. Why? Because I can.
Drunk calling your ex.
Name your kid idiotic names.
People who have escaped the purgatory of the 9-5, how'd you do it?
I currently work 2 days a week, 16 hours days, hospital, and I can never go back to 9-5. Only negative aspect, those days are sad son, but whatever, I only work 8 days a month, I'll take it.
I used to work nights and weekends for years. I am now thoroughly enjoying my 9-5.
Inverse question, how does one acquire a 9-5?
I got myself a new job that's now 6-6-30. Only now I work, on average, 3 days a week and have long weekends every week.
What movie had the worst ending that you didn't expect?
The Devil Inside. The movie was basic horror, everyone dies fair, but it suddenly ends after a car crash and the title card appears listing the website for more info and the movie just hits. Seriously, one of the worst endings imaginable.
Frozen. And I don't mean the Disney movie. I mean the one about the skiers stuck on the ski lift.
Percy Jackson. Any of them. Honestly, they're completely bad. I'd rather pull out all of my teeth than watch that movie. Rick Riordan, author of PJ.
Hancock started out really interesting, but the second half seemed completely random and separated from the first.
Pay it forward. That movie messed me up when I was a little kid.
Bridge to Terabithia. Thought it was going to be a fantasy film, then discovered just their imaginations. Then the ending happened. I heard parents were pissed because they took their kids to see a light-hearted movie.
Your username has been made into a multi-billion-dollar movie. What's it about?
A period piece about a modest nobleman who is called upon to use his supernatural virility to restore the dwindling population of his small farming community. Scandinavian clown cowboy hybrids.
bananas being liberated.
The greatest Sith Lord in all of Star Wars.
It's a movie about your mom licking my balls.
#BuyerDogs.
Why no one seems to really care about Pentagon release of 3 UFO videos taken by US Navy pilots, considering the fact that one of these video was filmed by Navy pilot David Fravor, who is saying it wasn't behaving by the normal laws of physics, so thinks it was not from this world.
We get used to it. 2020 has been an eventful year. I saw these videos like 6-7 months ago. CNN and same video 2 years ago, video.
Because the videos are like 2 years old now?
Unless those alien motherfuckers got a cure for the coronavirus, I don't really give a shit about them, Aaron.
What's the best Wi-Fi name you've seen?
I had a roommate that named ours Botlan and Login. I always thought that was clever.
Crack Shack, which wasn't exactly created, but we later found out that the owners were arrested for selling drugs. Edit, no, it was not a restaurant. We don't have a restaurant chain named Crack Shack in my state. My younger brother set his mobile hotspot to hot singles in your area and I'm never gonna get over it.
Rebellious Amish family.
We're not allowed to have our own routers on campus, so I named mine a top mobile hotspot.
For the longest time, I had my phone's hotspot name as Police Surveillance Tricycle. Turns out, it's a good way to get some people paranoid and have others amused over the whole thing when having it active during classes.
Which fictional character did you hate at the start of a show/movie but took a turn for the better later on?
Squidward, I finally understand everything he's going through.
Boromir wasn't one of my favorites at the start, but holy fuck, his death hits hard at the end after he redeems himself.
Steve Harrington from Stranger Things went from totally Chad to totally rad.
Sawyer in Lost. And Jed for that matter.
Zuko Avatar: The Last Airbender.
The Hound from GOT. I hated his guts at the beginning, but as the show progressed I so badly wanted to see him defeat what made him sad and angry, then live a happy life with a free mind. At least he got to do one of those things.
Cordelia from Buffy and then Angel. They really developed that character from shallow person to caring adult. I have blocked out all Connor-based storylines.